Alrighty, I see that we are live on the interwebs as far as I can tell, so I'm going to assume my producing skills have allowed us to actually be seen. Hello there, everybody. Welcome once again to another bit of an all BIMPOC crew taking some time to try out the Numenera system in a homebrew world of Aerowen. Welcome, everybody, to Welcome to the Party. So, we've got some general housekeeping things that I have to take some time to go through. But before I get into that, I just want to say thank you for taking the time to come and watch us be either silly, serious, dramatic, hilarious, or all of these things. We realize that the world right now is in a pretty messy place. And even before we get into live sponsor, the sponsor list and all that stuff, I personally wanted to give just a few moments, and I think the cast is okay, me just taking some time to give a moment of silence for George Floyd, for Breonna Taylor, for, Lord, there's a list of different people, Waukesha Wilson, Riddell Jones, any number of other folks, the various, I believe there was a trans person, Taylor McCade, I have a list pulled up here. Tony McDade and various others who, again, with the state of the world being as terrible as it is, their lives have been taken far too early, and we want to give this moment just a few seconds of respect for the lives they were taken from us, and we honor their names now. All right. Thank you again, everyone, for tuning in. We are going to have ourselves an interesting evening tonight with continuing our adventures in Aerowen, which is a homebrew world I've created specifically to test out the Monty Cook Numenera system. And before we get into that game, we got to give a thanks to the folks who help keep the lights on, keep things running over here. So first of all, give thanks to our sponsors, which allow me on the dang old thing. Sponsors. Give thanks to, first off, Tabletop Loot. Huge thanks to Tabletop Loot, our amazing dice sponsor, providers of fine dice for all your gaming needs. Head on over to www.tabletoploot.com and use the code WTTPDICE to get 15% off your next purchase. Maddie and his amazing merch shop over at So Nerdware, the sole provider of Welcome to the Party merch. Head over to www.sonerdware.com and use the code WELCOME at checkout to get 10% off your next purchase. So Nerdware, it's what the nerds wear. Roll20, who proudly sponsors WTTP, the virtual tabletop that runs straight out of your web browser. Everything you need to play with your friends is ready at the click of a mouse, from click-to-roll character sheets to built-in video and voice chat. You can even upload your own maps and tokens. Get all that and more with a free basic account on roll20.net. Sign up now at roll20.net/start/WTTP. Last but not least, Devin Rue, who has proudly sponsored and been a huge support to the community since we started and since we launched. For some of the best cartographical content from the Mapstress Extraordinaire, check out rueinc.com. And if you want to see this channel, if you want to see us grow and see folks on the channel who are amazing LGBTQ and BIMPOC players, creators, storytellers, whatnot, why not go and support our Patreon? Tap that in real quick. Patreon. Your generosity allows us to keep working on our mission to keep folks like myself, like Simon, and other people who are amazing storytellers, GMs, whatever terms you use for folks helping facilitate these tales of mystery, wonder, ridiculosity, intrigue, mischief, all of that. Our Patreon helps support those folks. So check us out at patreon.com/welcomepartyrpg. And if you're interested in getting to know more folks in the community, why not check out our Discord. We have amazing, robust community spaces for BIMPOC folk who want some space away from the whiteness of the world right now, which can be a bit overwhelming, and we have robust conversations around safety, consent, and various issues related to BIMPOC-specific issues in tabletop gaming and other related issues, and also memes extraordinaire, cute furry friends, and all manner of other things that you might need during these times. So feel free to check out the Discord if you're interested. So we're going to get into this game, but I'm going to let folks go around and remind them to please unmute yourselves on Zoom so that people can actually hear you, so we don't have that happen again, and just give a quick sense of who you are and who you'll be playing. So if nothing else, just that sentence that defines what your character is in Numenera.
Okay, so let me take the start. I am Sasok. I'm playing Harun Musafir. I am a circus performer, acrobat turned explorer, semi-willingly.
Next up.
I guess I'll go. Hello, I'm Kupo Knight. You can call me Kupo, but tonight I will be playing Hanan de la Vega, a nurturing nano who possesses a shard of the sun.
Wonderful. Next up.
Jump in. I'm Simon. You can find me on Twitter at Lucha Libris. I'm playing Nepalzin, and he is a rugged glaive who lives in the wilderness.
Thank you very much, Simon. Next up, Bram or Noah, whichever one of you would like to go next.
Yeah, I'm Bram. You can find me on Twitter at Defiatos, and I am playing Aerowen Raditya Nagahari, a intelligent nano who crafts illusions.
Fantastic. And last but not least, Noah.
Hello, my name is Noah, and you can find me at Twitter at OrenRune, and today I'll be playing my mechanical ride to talk to machine Craven, who is definitely not insane. Definitely not.
Brilliance occurs in multiple kinds of ways. Craven's is just the chaotic kind. So, with all of that out of the way, we're going to get back into setting the scene for where our party was previously. So, having joined an expedition to essentially scout out a new location that had been pulled back amongst the fog walls and valleys the valleys of fog that existed down in the lower areas of Aerowen, a world of floating sky islands and settlements with various elemental themes across each of the regions. The party went north to the Terran region, descending down upon avian gustwalker mounts and finding themselves in the midst of a long-forgotten temple, massive as though it were built for giants and beings far larger and far more intimidating than themselves. And as we began the previous session, had just gone through the front door, had just started to go through the front door, and immediately found themselves through a series of rolls and general player-prompted curiosity to begin pulling up plates near the antechamber before descending further into the actual temple itself, and found a strange Escher physics-defying like subterranean cavern beneath them, where a few individuals just found themselves either falling down, but successfully with great acrobatic and circus performer grace landing without a problem, or in Craven's case, willfully jumping into the fray and being attacked along the way by a swarm of moths, which provided a perk, and he's alive, so I suppose that's the only thing that matters. But the party, with all the noise that they had created, had caught the attention of what appeared to be gem-encrusted Moscaran individuals, though these beings seemed far more feral, far more shadowy and luminous, and far more terrifying than other individuals of a particular Moscaran bent, the insectoid gem peoples that also exist in the world of Aerowen. A battle ensued in which the party, through various tactics, whether illusory a sniper shot up to the top of the roof and knocking down a piece of rock that pierced their very hard chitinous armor, managed to scare away the bugs, seeing them do essentially a watercress bug dance across the various waters. I believe someone in the party came to the conclusion of, right, water, bad, don't do that. And eventually, ending the session, staring in front of a door, X pattern on it with various markings along it that seem to have a sunlight, like a sort of rising sunrise pattern, where all of a sudden an individual appeared who seemed to be somewhat frenetic in their movements and in their speech patterns. There seemed to be this sense of just not entirely processing where they were, and when the individual turned around, seeming to have various markings along their body very similar to Hanan's. And that is where the party finds themselves, in front of this door with this individual there. And as the individual, again, continues this litany of phrases and just conversational topics that don't seem to make sense, there's a couple words caught that just seem to be, what if I'd gone over here? What if I'd gone and done this? No, then the bugs would have come for me afterwards. Then I would have, no, but wait, we could have jumped, or we could have like climbed across. No, that wouldn't have worked. The individual doesn't seem entirely focused, and there's a moment where, as you're all taking notice of this, the individual it seems like there's 2 or 3 of the same person there, but they're not entirely corporeal. It's like an after image effect of the same person, delayed by a couple of seconds.
How many are there?
It's hard to tell. It all of the images seem to be of the same person, but it's almost like if I'm talking to you right now and I'm like, I make this gesture, the individual one image of it will make that gesture, the other one will be 5 seconds before about to make the gesture, the other one is 10 seconds afterwards, and there's a couple additional images that look like they're still walking across the cavern to this spot, but they're only a couple inches away from that individual. Like, they don't seem entirely all the way there.
Anan will walk forward, like as close to them, well, very much closer, and just kind of they're not really sure which one to talk to, so they're kind of aiming at like a central like area to look at, and just go, hello, can you hear us? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear it. I can always hear all the things. I'm charged with knowing everything about here. We're charged with keeping all of the knowledge. I can hear everything. I can. Your voice evacuates out. No. We can't hear their voice. We don't know if we can do it with their voice. What do we do about this? What do we do? Like, it's both like they're always. What? That's very strange. No, sorry. It seemed as though I'd gotten a notification that we were on an ad break, but I'm not getting that. As far as I can tell, nothing like that's happened. It might just be...
I don't see anything on the stream.
Apologies. I think some stuff has been acting up with various things. But in any case, it's really strange because the person, like, I'm trying to mimic as frenetically as they're talking, but some of them aren't talking that fast. Some of them are much slower. Like, they're just getting to this moment of realizing you're here. Like, one individual is looking at you and looks like they're the most kind of able to take it in, and there's a few that are like much faster, and then there's another few that are much slower.
Okay. What's your name? Are you all right? You seem to be a bit dragging, lagging. I do not know the word.
No. I'm fine. No. I'm I'm remembering. I'm lost somewhere. I'm somewhere. I'm here, but I'm supposed to be over there. But I was already there. But I. Did you do this to me? Is this what happened?
No, 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 of course not. We just arrived actually.
That was very strange. That was a sound. That happens. Don't worry.
It's alerts because we're on curfew again in LA.
We have this in Seattle as well.
Yeah.
World is a mess.
Yes.
But
I
they would give you the name of Ligaya. Like they just talk for a second and just like Ligaya. I think that was my name. That I mean, of course, it is my name. Was my name? Will be my name? I don't remember. I don't know. They just
Wait, since you're doing things that you're perceiving them as right now, and they're doing things in different points of time, how about you take a notebook and you write something down in it? The other one will have it already written down, and the other one will if you take out the notebook. That way, we can time exactly how long it is in between, so we know which one of you is actually you.
Are you saying this to the individual, to Ligaya?
Mhm.
Okay. Yes, that makes sense. No. We've already done that. It didn't work. It's like, no, we haven't done that yet. No. We've already done this. It leads to terrible things. They've already been ripped to shreds. Don't worry. But did we do that? No. We didn't do that. No. It was the bugs. No, but did we do this? No. It's fine. It's fine. Like,
is there Okay, so go.
Maybe set that on the bed, but just in case. But
Yeet.
yeah, essentially, I was just like, yeet. But also, hello there, expertise. Lovely to have you joining the party.
Welcome.
But you see for a moment that some of the images, they start to pull out very long, serrated, gem encrusted blades.
Oh, ooh.
Whoa. Okay,
Hmm.
let's not proceed with this course of action. What exactly are you gonna try with those gem blades? Are you gonna try to fillet something like a fish or
No.
something?
We wouldn't do that. No, we've already done that. No. They're already gone. It's not us who did
No,
it. They're already
we
gone. No.
we
We're not.
do not mean any
No,
harm.
we're not harmful. Look, literally, me and Nopalazine here are harmless.
Hold on.
Wait a minute.
What about us?
I can negotiate our way out of this.
Haroon, roll me. It's an intellect roll.
Yeah, it's
It was only a difficulty 1, but I'm gonna say because of what you just said, I'm gonna put it at a difficulty 2.
We're doomed.
wah
We're
wah.
gonna see how this goes.
No effort. We're going in raw.
Oh my god, you just beat it. Okay. Could have been close. Like, you see, like, several of the images, like, all of a sudden, take on a very angry expression, and they all look as though they begin moving towards Hanan and you. But the central one and the ones previously stop, and it's like, no, it's fine. Don't worry. They're not going to do anything. I promise. It's not their faults. It's not their faults. Everyone is gone. Like, we're stuck here. No, it's fine.
I assure you, I can't cause something like this to happen. I'm just a circus performer.
It's like the most self-assured face. It's like the most...
Wait. You mentioned there were more of you. What happened to them? Maybe we can help. Is there somewhere you need? Is there a home is there a place that you need to go to? We can help. We're explorers, actually.
The core has been shut down. It needs Solarans touch, but I don't exist anymore. I am not here all the way anymore. It's fine. Things will be fine. It's right.
I think something in here turned them into these
Um,
spirits. So maybe it separated them, the core? Is that possible? Is that a thing? And he looks, Nepalzin looks at the nanas in the group like, is that possible?
I have never
Maybe.
seen something like this, but perhaps Bram or Craven would
But,
are a bit more. This
uh,
seems like more in their expertise, perhaps.
uh,
The pitch uptick at the end is what worries me.
Mm,
I don't want to going like, one more, and it's just gonna start. Just, I want to try and delve into like into just the database of my memory and see if I can think of any sort of Numenera or any sort of weird physical property that we know of in this world that could do something maybe even similar to this. Not maybe not this
Okay,
exactly.
so this is a
Uh,
very difficult thing to be doing because this is not knowledge that people necessarily know. So I'm probably going to put this at an intellect roll of a difficulty of 4. It's
mm.
it's a this isn't knowledge that necessarily like this, like there's weird stuff, and then a breaking apart of someone's essential like attachment to the current space-time continuum is it's a
right.
little bit out of common parlance of
Yeah,
understanding.
and if not space time continuum, maybe just space or time, and see where those things intersect. If I even get that far.
Yeah, so I would say so it'll be a difficulty 4, but so you
Okay.
have training and understand. Do you have training in anything that you feel would be relevant to understanding this issue?
Um, Perhaps if this is connected to the Numenera, understanding Numenera.
I would say that that's appropriate. So it will move.
Okay.
This is weird, and usually
Yeah.
in the range of really really weird. Probably Numenera are involved. So
I
Okay.
kind of want like Craven to also like throw like with Aerowen, they just throw out ideas like what are they? Maybe they're like this or maybe they're like that. Aerowen, because you're kind of like the encyclopedia, and I'm kind of like the guy who's skimming through like books in library. You know what I'm saying? It's like
so
yeah.
I would say in that case, with your collective knowledge, I'd say that Craven, I'd let that slide as Craven is trying to provide an asset with his own particular understanding of Numenera, so that'll move the difficulty to a 2.
Two. Yeah. And then I'm gonna put a point of effort in.
Okay, so that'll take 3 points away, but if you have an edge in that,
Yeah.
it'll take only 2 from your pool for
Yep.
intellect. So difficulty 2, or difficulty 3, but you note in the roll 20 that you're putting in 1 of
Yeah.
effort, which will lower it. So whichever way you
Yeah.
want to input it.
So
But
that
let's
essentially
see.
makes it a difficulty 1.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right then.
So let's hope for a not let's hope for a not natural 1 in this case.
I believe in you.
Let's go. Let's go. Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah,
Got it.
that'll do it.
That'll do it.
So this is not this is straight up like a couple moments, like very awkward moments of people essentially just of like the whole party is it's a little bit tense, and there's moments of just it's just a few moments of like Aruan and like Craven like going through like Aruan's going through all of the links in his head.
Oh
And
no, they're not in just my head. They're all visual.
oh, right. So it's just like there's like 17
Yeah.
tabs open at any given moment.
Yeah. Think of
Oh,
like
Like
just images.
Minority Report, like Iron Man, like Minority Report, where it's
oh,
Moving them all around.
like
The
an
one with-
orchestra.
the one that pretends that he does have the screen and it's just Craven going whoa whoa.
And Craven's just like going through them because they're essentially the illusions, the images that I conjure up. Just like, no, not this.
Yeah,
This
it's,
one.
it's a lot of like just going
Grab your
nope,
screen.
nope, and nope. But you do very obscurely you do find something that is relevant to the situation. This being, whatever has happened to them, the most similar phenomenon you are aware of for what has happened to this person, they are known as what's called a dimensional husk. They are essentially an individual who has been left as, more often than not, a vengeful echo of someone's imprint on time itself. That they are so pulled from the fabric of reality that their essence is scattered across multiple moments in time.
Oh.
Yeah. I told you it's weird. Numenera
Yeah.
creatures are really weird.
I think yeah. So there's just gonna be this moment where I have sort of a perhaps like from one weird way station, just the image, like just this sort of drawing interpretation of a dimensional husk, sort of just like in front of me, just thinking about it, like, oh, oh, and I just slowly turn to like I'm like, and then I look back at this interpretation of a dimensional husk. Like as I put the pieces, like, oh, this is a like this is similar, but I don't know if it's exactly the same. But that must mean that there's definitely been, to have putting off the interpretation. Well, if it's a vengeful echo left behind, like just to have that kind of, in essence, willpower to just, even though they're gone, to still have such a strong imprint makes me wonder, okay, maybe not a vengeful echo, but what kind of echo did this individual leave behind? As I then go and just like quietly, just like sort of quietly, just shimmy on over to shimmy to Nopals and be like, this might. I don't think this is exactly the same, but it does remind me of something I had well, I hadn't seen it, but I saw it on a way station of something called a dimensional husk.
Like
this.
Like a ghost.
Well, this is more of somebody being a dimensional husk would be somebody who has so much feeling emotions that it manages to puncture its way through the fabric of space-time and leave behind these ripples, these echoes still within that we can perceive. I don't know if a ghost quite fits that description, but also I don't think this is a dimensional echo but it could be. It has very similar signs, but also we're beyond the fog, and who knows what's accurate and what's not quite accurate to what we know. But also this is based off of secondhand accounting of, I think it was like, I don't remember how many way stations ago this was. I mean, and I just pull over the image, this rendition of like, a dimensional husk. This is sort of what somebody had interpreted it as at this one way station, I think, somewhere south of Terra. Not quite sure. Or was it? Never mind. But you can sort of see some similarities. It's like sort of trying to discreetly point between the image and the Gaia. It's like, but not quite.
It's a ghost. Okay.
No.
Got it.
It's not a ghost. It's not a ghost. I think it's just an hologram. You know, an holograms. You know, people who are stuck in like hologram mode after they die, probably. Because that's what I understand.
So it's a ghost, but
it's still
not
a
a
person.
ghost.
It's still
Wait.
a person.
It's like an AI. It's like if you die, you're stuck in a machine, and then in that machine you became an AI, and from that machine,
Are you saying
became a hologram?
Are you saying it's like a ghost in the machine?
The space ghost.
That's what an AI is, anyway, right? It's just a ghost that's left over inside of a cipher. Anyway, are these things going to kill us? Do you think?
Well, if it is powered by if it's here because of strong, usually it's strong emotions like vengeance, anger, that kind of strong emotions that leave them behind. But also it could be something else. I mean, we haven't seen that many.
You should be fine. I calmed them
seen
down.
that many aggressive actions, except that one time when they, as I start counting, like the last 15 of them drew out a gem blade thing. But otherwise, they seem to be mostly amicable. So I don't. But also, I don't know how aggressive a regular dimensional husk is. Bearing in mind that a dimensional husk in itself is a very, from what I understand, an incredibly rare phenomenon to encounter. So there's not really much in the way of uh, a regular data set to compare it to.
Well,
Okay.
I mean, everyone. If you wanna see how dangerous a husk is, we can always, do a bit of a test since we got.
Let's talk to them.
We're not hurting anything right
Yeah.
away unless it's coming
No.
at us.
We were trying to earlier. We had the rights.
Are
to
the
defend
blades still
ourselves.
out, GM?
It's more that the figure has just sort of been left because like no one's really talking with them. It's just been walking around the door, and it looks as though it's been like certain aspects of the images have been trying to trace the sunlight pattern across it. And
They said that. Yeah, sorry.
yeah, no, that's really it. It looks more like it doesn't quite. It's the equivalent of like if you woke up and you were like, getting out of bed, and then you realized your bed was in the middle of a river. It's having that kind of phenomenon. Like it doesn't quite understand. They don't understand where they're at. Lagaya just seems to have this sense of like, I'm remembering 15 different spots where I'm at the same time. Like that's kind of the best equivalent way I have to explain it. They don't seem aggressive anymore. They just seem kind of confused and maybe a little like sad.
Is there a way to fix this?
Okay,
Let's-
Lagaya, do you know where you are at right now?
Yes, I'm near the Shadow Archives. I'm right outside of the
archives.
I'm right outside of the door. I'm trying to remember how to get inside. I used to know the pattern, but yes, I only had some knowledge of Sombran ways. I didn't quite know the Solaran ways of opening the doors. I wasn't stationed here. I was just I was a caretaker for some of the other areas and for keeping the bugs away. You know, the bugs, they were quite frightening. They did terrible things. They were, and then they just start going off on a tangent about like the bugs in the cavern. Like it
Okay.
seems like they're very scattered, and like if they if a couple of the images start going on a certain topic, the rest of them start shifting focus to go in that direction. Like it's very, unless you're actively focusing on them, they seem like they're just really at any given point in time it seems like they're struggling to hold themselves together at this point in time, because this point in time is like 15 points in times for them.
I like the sound of shadow archives. How many shadows could you possibly keep on file?
You keep that on file.
Probably a lot. I mean, a lot of people have shadows. A lot of items have shadows. So there's gonna be a ton of them. Probably somewhere in the cores of Earth.
But why would you archive shadows?
What was
Is
that?
it something like it? Why would you archive shadows? Is it something like a stamp collection or something?
It could be like a like saying of like, or a nickname for maybe memories, because shadows tells it, shadows like silhouette, and silhouette is like it's like
Well, Lagaya, what are these shadow archives that you speak of? Do you need to go back? We can maybe help escort you. And I'm like looking at the group, like the rest of the group,
Please
like
agree with me.
Yeah.
How can
no.
we get this pattern that they can't remember? Yeah.
I don't recall all of it. I would need a Solaran to be present with me in some capacity.
Solaran.
And-
What is a Solaran?
Is that does language work the same way in Aerowen that it does in our world, where we could kind of try and backtrace the linguistic origin.
You could give it a shot.
You could certainly try.
It's more impressive that you say that as you were getting the drink. That's what made it that much better. Because it wasn't even just you took a drink. It was like you did the little like swish as you did it. It's like wine parent like vibe.
Wine parent.
But question, Hanan, how close are you to the door right now?
The last move I made was to be closer to Legaia, so I am more in relation to Legaia than wherever the door is. So whatever in relation to Legaia is to the door, that's where I would be.
Okay, Legaia is pretty close and has been like tracing their hand, but like again, it's sort of there. Like you can sense there's the imprint of physical touches happening on the door, but it's not like entirely there. It's almost like an echo of what a person physically touching the door would be like. But Hanan, when you get close to Legaia, the insignias around the sun outline, they light up. Oh yes,
Oh.
yes. You all travel with the Solaran. Wonderful. We could get in. Like so, this will
Of course
be
we
fun.
do. Yeah.
What?
I'm gonna turn
Love
to
those
Hanan.
guys.
I was like, sort of like in a point, like, do you know what they're talking about?
Yeah, I get it. A Solaran must be someone who sails because sailors go on the sea and the air. So a Solaran sails air. We all sail on the sea and the air. We must all be Solarans because we're all effectively sailors. It's science.
Science. I'm sorry, I had to do it.
Also, Hanan, as you got close to the door, the markings and everything, that you have across your body, they lit up just very faintly in response to it. Like,
Oh, this is new.
Are you gonna explode, Hanan? Because if you are, please tell us.
No, I have never exploded in all my young 20s years of life. I do not intend to start now, I think.
Like the door is calling to you, or
I-
you're calling to it.
I
I'm not hearing anything.
I do not know it.
Put your hand on the door.
Should I
Put it.
Oh.
Put it.
Okay.
If you're one of these Solarans, like Legaia says, maybe you're meant to open this thing for us.
And just put your hand on it. It's okay if you lose a hand. I can always make you a spell.
Oi!
That's
That is very rude. You know, that.
It's okay. Look, we've determined that we're all Solarans for logic, so allow me to put my hand on the door, and we'll see what happens.
But you
Observe.
didn't even glow.
I put my
Well, I don't know about that.
Haroon, I need a speed defense roll from you. A difficulty
You
of
fool!
2.
You fool!
What's the difficulty?
Difficulty is 2.
Raven was right. He warned you.
Danger sense?
I'll say that lowers it to a 1.
This will be fine.
So it'll be fine. This is fine.
What the hell? Craven just foreshadowed that. Well, you did say you gotta stay.
Why? Why is it always these moments?
He's like, this is fine. A 1 fail.
It's a door. It's a door.
Look, we didn't get past the first door. How do you expect us to get past this door?
So basically, pure himbo energy.
I love the Paulson.
And just like,
we finally
I'll
broke-
never get through this temple that I created with my own bare hands, like with this stupid crew.
So, just give me a second to catch my breath.
Ah,
Yes, we broke the GM.
Oh my god.
I lasted longer than I normally do. This time it only took us 40 minutes instead of the
I
usual
feel like that
5.
was a record for
That's
us.
a record for me. So you hear a voice, a very mechanical voice, start to speak. Let me see if I could do this voice correctly. Solaran presence has not been detected. Solaran presence has not been detected. Initiate countermeasures.
Wow.
Countermeasures.
Did I just hear countermeasures?
Get
Okay,
down.
okay. I will press my hand on the door. Just do not. Oh, if I try to press my hand on the door, does it change it?
It will. However, a very bright light just emanates out of the sigils and the runes and the markings on the door. When Haroon had put his hand there, Haroon, you will be considered hindered for the next 30 minutes in any sort of task that involves visual capacity, as nothing for you. It's not painful or harmful, but you suddenly feel this bright light has overtaken your senses.
so I am hindered, and bright lights taking over my senses.
Yes, like it's very strange too, because as it's happening, you're seeing memories of various people as well. It's like you start to see, like, for a second, it just happens for a second, but as you turn back and look at the cave, you see that there are various individuals a little bit more humanoid than a lot of the than the Gustwalker, more humanoid, darker skin than some of the folks that you've seen in your everyday life, and all dressed in very sort of like white, yellow, and red sort of fabrics that look as though they have like books or tomes move in their hands and in packs, beginning to move through the area, and then they vanish. But the moment, Hanan, that you put your hand on the door, the voice responds, Solaran presence has been detected. Access to Shadow Play memory archives allowed.
I whip my hand away. Oh, that is good.
Seems to have done it.
I'm gonna turn to Ligaya and see what they're doing.
Yes. So another a scholar or another person belonging to the group. Yes. This is good. This is good. I can offer my efforts to this as well. And whereas when Hanan put their hand for the top half, it seemed to have lit up the runes and insignia for the sunlight, so the sunrise sort of pattern. Ligaya puts their hand to the bottom half of the door, and it's like inky bits of like dark shadow spread across the same reflected pattern of the sunrise, and the door opens.
This is why I am not a science man.
Look, I did offer Hanan a hand in case their hands stop, but I don't think I have any spare eyes for you to use, buddy. You're gonna have to stop that way for now.
There's fluffy things on you as well.
I guess we all can proceed. Right, Ligaya?
Yes, we can go forward. There's things, there's creatures, there's people, there's memories to look over to. The memories, I think, was I here for this? Yes, you were here for this. No, you weren't here for this. You were taken out before this. Oh, I think you were. And it's just...
Yeah, Then what are we waiting for? Let's make freaking go then. Let's have ourselves a trip to the Shadow Archive.
I will
And then,
volunteer take point.
and then Craven just walks in like he owns the place.
So Craven, I need a speed defense. No, I'm just kidding. You're fine.
I was so scared. I was already so scared. I was going to you.
No. I promise, I'm not gonna do that. I'm not gonna do that. So,
One of these days.
to give a description of what you see as the light of the top half of the door moves away, fades out, and the shadow fades away into the ground, you walk into a room where there appear to be various stained glass fixtures hanging in the air that at different points as you're walking across the ground, it's echoing in here. Like each of your footsteps just reverberate sound. And it's strange. As you're walking through, it's like all of a sudden light turns on into the room, and it's this massive cavernous space. All around you, it's like you're in a tunnel flanked all around you on the sides and your left and your right by deep magenta and purple stained glass. And above you is like swirls of stained glass light fixtures that occasionally, depending on it's hard, you don't know why it's doing this, but every now and then light will shoot off of them, just fire down. And the room also seems to have various think kind of like fish bowls full of water at various levels. Like there's just like they're raised to certain levels, and there's very thin little almost like metallic rods, like only about, I don't know, a few inches or like maybe like 5 to 7 centimeters long. So very small, but they're just set on tiny little tables right next to each of these bowls, and there's just lines upon lines of these things going on with what feels like it's like a library almost of these, in terms of the rows are just lining that. They're just set out in different sections, and the coloration in the water seems different at different spots. The heights seem to be either deeper in some ways or lower in other ways. And there's just various light fixtures and stained glass sort of particles just hanging up in the air.
Wow.
What is this place, Ligaya? Is this part of the archives?
Yes, archives, sound, archives, creatures, people, places, things, memories, everywhere. Sound, for light, for memory, shadow and light. Memory.
Whoa.
Oh, come on, it's just a light show.
How is it? Just as I'm looking at all the various fish bowls and everything, as I turn to the guy, how is it organized?
Peoples, creatures. Shadow, light, shadow, light, shadow, light, shadow, light. Big, small, big, small, big, small. And it's like it's like they have they are a walking delay pedal essentially, in terms of how they're talking. It's just like it's like a few seconds late and a few seconds early at some points.
Okay.
But like
I am committing everything to memory.
just like I
Is
am
there-
saving everything.
Is there anything we can access here?
Sound, light,
sound?
light, creature. Sound, light,
Oh.
creatures.
Okay. Oh. I just look at the rest of the group like, I cannot understand what they're saying.
Play Stormbird.
What?
As I stumble
God
along.
damn it, Simon! Why do you do this to me?
How
Reference.
Freebird.
Oh.
But Stormbird, Freebird doesn't exist in this
Also,
world.
Nepalzin is like trying to access, like, if this is where memories of things and like sounds of things are stored, then like is trying to call it up somehow, like in the only way that he understands.
What are y'all doing at this moment as you're moving through this place? Is anyone examining anything? What are you doing?
I
like-
want to. Ram, you go on first.
Oh, okay. First, I'd like to just ask the guy, how do we access these memories, this information? Are we allowed to?
Yes, do it. Solaran. Keepers. Memory. 8th world. Like they're it's
Did I
strange
hear that right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
8th world. Did you just say 8th
Eighth?
world?
Yes, the current world. That's where we're at.
Um.
Is Lagaya tall? Like, what's their height?
Lagaya's not very tall. Lagaya's only like 5 foot, like 2 max.
Okay, so
And
they're not that much taller, or like, I'm not that much taller than them.
But it also, like, some of the after images look significantly older though.
Oh,
And some
okay.
of them look a little taller, like just a couple inches taller. Like they still grew out later, but it's weird. It's all of them are somewhat what Lagaya must have been at one point in time, but it's again, it's like 15 versions of them that are just at any given point overlapping at different moments. None of them particularly feel concrete.
Hanan looks at the rest of the group, but then looks at Lagaya and tries to tentatively, like, I don't know if they're corporeal, but tries to touch the one that's about the same height as them. And Lagaya, I am not sure how to say this, so forgive me if this is blunt, but the 8th world, as you say, we are from the 9th world.
No, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, but of course it makes sense. No one's here. No, they're all gone. No, they're sleeping. No, they're tending to the archives. No, they're gone. They've been gone for a while. Like they're every thought. Like essentially, to imagine the scenario. Imagine if you had just any situation in your life where you had conflicting feelings. Any of those thoughts. Imagine someone manifesting all of those all at once. Lagaya is having all of those at the same time.
I apologize. I do not mean to conflict you. Maybe I just thought this would help you, or maybe have you have a better understanding.
Anan, I would like to offer you a GM intrusion.
Oh,
However, this comes with a premise. I will alter it if you say no to the first part of it that I want to preface this with.
okay.
This would involve Legaya taking control of your form temporarily. It's somewhat invasive, so if you are not comfortable with that, I can alter it to show it a different means. But also if you choose to just ignore it, but I didn't want to have it be
Right.
like you would
No, I
something
I appreciate that. I'm okay with this. I will take it.
Okay. So you get one experience for yourself and one experience to give to someone else.
Okay. Let me mark that before I forget, and then I will give it to I would like to give it to I will give it to Brahm. Or I mean
Oh.
Aerowen.
So
Okay, thank you.
So the intrusion is this: the Gaia you all watch as one of the pieces steps into Hanan just for a moment, and you see that the eye coloration for Hanan's eyes go entirely pitch black. But you see them move with Hanan's body. They take one of the rods and they they move it around. So sort of imagine it the way that champagne kind of glasses, performers who use that in order to create different pitches and sounds.
Yeah, the sound.
Mhm.
They do that, and then they very gently hit the side of one of the bowls nearby. As it does, the water forms up and it creates a little outline in the bowl. One of the light fixtures above shines down into the water. It seems to orient and react to the sound. And as it does so, it creates a shadowy silhouette of a creature. Let me see. Let me pull up something real quick. It's very strange in its outline. It looks like it's reptilian, but it has glowing moth wings on its back. And it's not quite, the coloration isn't quite right. It's very like if you took a black and white like photonegative of something, it's like all the color has been like pulled from it. But it's a familiar creature. It's something that, a variant of it that I think probably Nopalzine and
I was gonna say,
Yeah.
like it looks like something you've seen. And like it moves closer to you, Nopalzine.
hey. He kneels down and gently puts a hand out.
And it sticks its tongue out, which has like a forked, it's slightly luminous quality, even with the shadowy sort of silhouette of its outline. And it licks your hand, and it's as far as you can tell, it feels real.
Like it's there,
Like it's
effectively.
there.
So if he reaches out and like goes to like pet the back of its head, like he feels something?
He
Question
feels,
mark?
yeah, it's
I guess it's not all there.
Yeah, like there's something slightly off about it. Like it doesn't like, it'd be the equivalent of like if you went to go pick up like a brick off of the ground and it felt as light as a feather, but every other aspect of it was right. It has that kind of feeling to it where it's like it's almost right, but something is off about it.
Yeah. It's like it's not all there, yeah. Like listening to a song and all the treble is turned up and there's no lows or something. Like, yeah, okay.
The bass is gone from the song you recognize, like the most important part, and you're just like, it's the
Right.
song, but it's
But where's the where's the backing part, right?
yeah.
It's whoa. This memory, this creature hasn't been around for years, lifetimes. You're telling me this whole place is full of this? This is an incredible find. These people, they archived everything from their world, perhaps. Can you imagine what we could do? How we could be able to grow our crops better, take care of our animals together better, than to know how they were raised and how where they came from. We could get insight onto all kinds of diseases and problems and creature patterns and weather.
Question is, how do we even get all these memories, as you call it? I just like to call it like a flashback of like holographic stuff. How do we get this to up there? It's all stuff in here. Unless you got some ideas as to how we're gonna put all those information and memories in like a device that we can carry around, maybe a copy of all these memories. Yeah, it'll
Carry,
be super useful.
can we carry this stuff at all? Or it seems that when I touch things in here, it does not like me. And I'm not sure if that extends to everybody but Hanan. So,
And man is fucking possessed by demons right now. You just see
yes.
yeah,
Well,
it's just going dark. It's like
not
oil out there.
Legaya's presence leaves you, Hanan, and you recall what happened, and there is nothing said, but there is like the imprint of a feeling of like sorry, like it's sort of like in the center of like your heart. You just feel like something that's like a little apologetic.
What did you? What was? What did you do? How did you?
Okay.
yeah,
I am fine. It wasn't. It was not. It was not violent or in for the cause of harm.
here, have
But
something. Have some like hentai. You'll be able to cool down a little bit.
I.
Light, shadow, structure, focus of the eighth world.
You're talking about balance. You're a Sombran to Hanan's Solaran.
Shadow to light.
What does that mean? What does that have to do with you doing what you did to me? That was.
It seems like you can't have one without the other. You need to mix them to be able to make these things work.
Is that why we're sim? Is that why we are similar? Is that why we have these symbols? I don't. I.
Any can access. I just wanted to show you. I'm sorry for being too forward, and the form just seems to pull back, and all of the faces take on a very apologetic. Like there's a sense that like very much the intent is not to be like crowding any of your space, and it's very clear none of it was like for their intent was solely to indicate to you that.
It is. It is all right. Like I was just taken aback. That is all. I. Okay, so if anyone can access it,
Sound, light, shadow.
You need to make music to get into this stuff, like you just did, right?
Yeah, 'cause you heard when the little steel, like mechanical rod was moved around it. It seemed to make some sort of musical note, like a very particular pitch. That and it had a sort of ending tone, an additional tone added onto it when it was struck on the side.
Aerowen is going to go to a different one. And he's just going to very carefully take one of the metal rods and do the exact same motions.
Another set of lights fall down, and the water rearranges itself to make another pattern. And in terms of thinking about like how the water's done it, the best comparison point I have for reference is think of a shadow puppet and like shadow play sort of work. The water is doing that sort of effect, where it's like it's this very like nonsensical shape that it makes, but the cast off effect from the silhouette makes something much more like substantial. And this one, you see a much bigger shape emerges, much more. I guess the best description you might have is kind of like a rhinoceros, but along its horn and along its back are additional sort of spines, but they have bright red and orange flowers growing out of them.
What is that?
Just going to carefully put my hand to it.
Be friendly.
It smells, by the way, when the tongue like reaches out to the hand, which again, this tongue, it's a lot flatter, it's more mucusy, and it's a little unsettling, but it has sense of like cinnamon and honeysuckle to it.
Huh.
Watch out, everyone. You don't want to get possessed by one of those things like a nan cut.
Looks like a ash longhorn, but I haven't seen anything like that outside of Terran before.
Are they
certainly
dangerous?
Not plants. Oh, if you scare them, sure.
Oh.
They usually just want to drink water and walk around, but they'll defend themselves if they have to.
Oh.
This is the friendliest I've ever seen one of these.
Oh, that's.
Okay.
It also does,
offering.
as you say that, it does seem to be trying to reach its head into one of the bowls to actually try and lick the water up.
Hey, Napoleon, I got something in mind. You might want to think about this. Are you listening to me right now, buddy?
Sure.
All right, listen here. Okay?
He's mostly fascinated by the projection, but go ahead.
He's like, hey, all right, just look at me.
How does the floral crown grow? Where does it come? And it must photosynthesize at the same time. It probably has a secondary food source. It can go further without eating.
And
Yes.
he just grabs his face and then just like turns and like, look at me right now. Okay, you listening? You finally listening?
I'm listening.
Okay. Remember how you said it's weird that outside where there's supposed to be animals, there's none. It was that freaking silent. Here we are with a bunch of animals and memories. Do you think there's something going on here that relates to that and that, buddy?
Maybe. I don't think that these things were put here. I think maybe the memories were put here to protect them. I wonder what if this tower, what if this place was like some kind of safe location, like a bastion? What if the people of the Eighth World knew that something was coming and they put everything here to remember where they came from?
What if it's the chamber and maybe they have their, I don't know, creatures humans all suppressed into a system or like a machine, uploaded into a memory like this.
But what I do not understand is I understand the means, the reasons to archive people's history and people and places, but what could have caused them to not only start this, but was there any ways to prevent it? Did they know and just do nothing? Wha-
They up now. Listen, they built this place. They make the memories of it. They're prepared. They probably doesn't. They probably think they can't do anything about it. So all they gotta do is just preserve what they have. You know, the memories of these creatures that is in their, you know, eras in their world, and then the memories of like their culture and what have you. Because people doesn't make shit like this unless they know they're gonna fucking die. I mean,
well,
yeah.
d- well, do you think then that they recorded what stopped the eighth world?
I think we're gonna
Probably.
find that deeper in here. Maybe
Yeah.
it's wherever the core is.
So onward, everybody.
This is just one part of this
Yes.
tower, and it doesn't look like anyone has been here.
Yes,
None of the other people.
Legaya, you mentioned the core, correct? There is a core.
Yes, yes, core, energy, focus, power source, rooms, things, spread out, sections, transport, power,
Okay,
energy.
there's sections. Can you lead us to the core?
Yes, no, have a will, already did, can't do it, already did, will do, I can do any of this.
Is there a map, my friend?
Can you give us directions?
No, no, there is no map, was map, gone map, map will be made again, is made, no map, no map.
Who made the map?
I think I did. Maybe? But it changed. This place has changed. It always changes. Everything shifts. Everything moves. Nothing stays the same forever. Every cycle ends and begins again.
I think Nepalzin looks around, and like looks up at the vaulting ceiling. Like, I think this place is alive.
No duh. I mean, like, if you look at all these things, they're alive, of course. All these machines too. I can probably talk to one of them. Hey, GM, can I? It does
Sure. Why don't we call that, for you, it would be level 3 difficulty intellect roll,
Okay.
which
Level
you have.
three.
You have the talking to machines thing, because that's the purpose you're shooting for, like trying to get communication out of these machines.
Especially the ones with like a memory thing.
Yeah, because it seems as though, like, as you're getting close and as Aerowen has like tapped the side of one of them, you see that there's actually multiple components to the bowl itself. It seems as though there are the fixtures up in the air, the bowl itself that produces the sound, and then there seems to be on the tables on the side of it. If you take a look closer to it, it seems as though there's almost like circuitry that's connecting the table to the underside and locked to the side of the bowl. Any given one of those components could potentially have something to it, but if you're trying to talk to it generally, it'll be, I'll put it at level 3 difficulty intellect roll.
Yeah, level 3. Alright, let's do it. Okay.
Natural 1. Natural 1.
Difficulty 3. And. You know what? Yeah, I'm gonna put like 1 effort on it.
Okay, so you're putting in 1 effort. So
Hey, I can talk to the machines! Hello, boomers!
it's just like, it's... So is it just a general conversation that you have with the machines, or is there something particular for how Craven actually goes about like talking to them? Does he like get out like a toolkit and he's like, all right, so hello.
he's like opens the thing, and then he just looks at the wirings and all, and he's like sits down cross-legged, be like, "Hello there. Can you hear me? I'm speaking to what I assume to be your ear. You are a big chalice, and my friends have been playing with ya. So
You
if you're
are
too busy getting pleasured by that,
you
just
are
tell
an
me."
incredibly loud individual.
Yes, my machines tell me that too. Thank you for noticing. So who are your creators?
Solaran and Sombran archivists, involved with creation of Eighth World Library site.
Solaran and what was that name again?
Sombran. Solaran
Uh,
Solaran. Sombran Sombran.
hmm. And they create the eighth world.
Archivists of Eighth World.
Archivers of eight worlds. Alright. And about these archivers, what happens to them?
End of cycle approached. Need to establish memory of individual creatures and locations. Memories left behind for future purposes. Before fog overtook location.
Okay, so they were preparing they were preparing before the fog comes in. Alright. So what happens when the fog comes in? Other than the end cycle, like what's the process here? How did they reach their end cycle?
End cycle is inevitable. Each cycle begets next cycle. Ninth cycle will inevitably occur.
Do you know when will it happen?
Uncertain of date. Cycles put forward by actions of residents of Aerowen.
And what actions dictates that it just comes in?
Uncertain. Memory banks contain insufficient data to answer inquiry. Location. Insufficient data to answer question. Location 1 contains insufficient information. Other locations, other archival sites may possess adequate information to indicate nature of the answer to inquiry.
Can you tell me about this memory's location, please? All of your buddies. I'd like to know them because you guys seem swell. You know, you guys seem swell, even though you possess one of my friends.
Memories simply left behind to reflect and to teach prior to initiation and onsurge of fog wall.
You still haven't told me where the other, you know, the other banks, memory banks that like you exist other than in this room. Is there any other rooms outside of this that store memories just like you did? Or is it just this place?
Singular location of shadow known as Shadow Play Memory Archives is current location of individuals. Location will shift as time passes. All rooms present in archival library site shift as time passes.
Okay. I think I know
Is
what.
is
Sorry.
there a new way that we can put all these memories into one device just for you know for the safety of I mean not the safety, for the knowledge of our people in the ninth world, because we're gonna be needing it.
Inquiry. Means of responding to inquiry uncertain. Does inquirer wish to remove memories from current location?
Remove, remove. You mean like when you say remove, do you mean like delete it, or do you mean like put it in another device? You gotta be honest with me here. I know your tricks, you old boomer machines. I know your tricks. I know how you works.
Warning. Uncertain how to respond to inquiry. Tone insufficient to determine malice or lack of malice in inquiry.
I'm
Okay,
suspicious of you. You old farts always speaks in riddles. Like, just
Warning.
talk like a normal person, and then he's
Warning.
like,
Malice
so
detected.
ready.
Countermeasures may
Cra-
need
Cra-
to
Craven?
be initiated.
These old farts. I don't know what your name is, but I'm gonna call it farts.
Craven. I
You
think
farts.
Hanan is like slowly dragging Craven away. Like, okay, both Adawan and I are just like, come
Yeah.
on, let's go, let us
You
go.
farts.
Stop.
You keep speaking in riddles. I'm gonna speak a fart.
It is not their fault,
No.
Craven. They are trying. They
It's
are
the
an AI.
fucking fart.
No.
No.
Delusional motherfucker! Just thinks like how my machine does.
Okay, no, calm down.
I'm sorry.
Harun,
I
did you
get
have
carried
something?
away.
Okay, so
Harun,
Haroon's gonna try to salvage the situation. No, I assure you that there is no malice in Craven's voice at all. As you can see, they're just simply being walked away because Craven has a peculiar. Craven just simply is seeking the knowledge and the memories in order to understand the cycle system, which is what these memories were left here for. Yes. So please do understand that we are merely here as explorers. There's no malice or ill intent or etc. Amongst us. We're just here to find out things and learn. And ultimately, isn't that what this is here for everybody to learn?
No, we're here to scrap shit up. We're here to salvage Numenera.
I think
Warning.
Hanan is definitely dragging like.
Malice detected.
No.
Sombran and
Malice.
Solaran countermeasures
No malice.
initiated.
No malice.
No malice.
No malice. Well, okay, come on. Think of it this way. We're here. We have not done anything untoward towards any of these devices. We just want to find out how the cycle was determined, to be able to determine when the next cycle is coming, in order to make sure that we can make an archive similar to this and embark upon this massive project so that we can make sure that the 10th cycle has the memories of the 9th cycle as well as the 8th cycle in order to operate off of and hopefully make a better world should we not be able to have our cycle go on. That's our lifetime. In any case, we can use this stuff to make a better world even. There's stuff that you guys knew that we didn't. And that's what we would like to try. I can absolutely assure you of this. And you're looking at a group of competent and steadfast individuals who most certainly know what they're doing and are here simply because of their love to explore and definitely were not coaxed into this particular career path by family members who weren't happy with their being part of or something like that.
I think all of that is a little more than this artifact can process.
There's an audible like silence for a couple of seconds after you finish saying that, Haroon. Like, and you hear just the faintest bit of like the actual equipment seems to be trying to parse through all of what you just said. Like it's taking its time. So I would like you, Haroon. This will be a level 3. We'll say this will be intellect, but if you have anything related to charm, social skills, or
I
persuasion,
have trickery.
I feel like that fits in this case in the description of competence being thrown into this mix. But so here's the
He
thing.
is using my voice. He is pretending to be me.
Here's the thing. It was only a level 3 difficulty. However, Craven's original tone has provided a hindrance to attempting to take this task, so it moved to a difficulty of 4.
Am I also not hindered still, or is that gone?
This will not. This is only a matter of speaking. You're having a little bit of trouble figuring out where exactly to speak to, but I won't count that necessarily as something against you. So you have the thing around trickery. I'll say that works depending on how this plays out, whether or not it's accepted, and whether any sort of additional things come from it. But
Okay, so it's a level 4. So on the input value, I put 4, right?
so you would put 4, but you have one skill that lets you move past it, so it brings it back down to a 3.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend no effort and see where this goes.
Okay, so let's see where we end up with that.
GM intrusion.
Oh, it's another GM intrusion.
Oh, I'm sorry, guys. I tried.
Don't worry, it's all Craven's fault.
Confusing and uncertain answers given to inquiry presented by Shadowplay Archive. Artificial intelligence. Sombran countermeasures initiated.
Everybody, is that door still open?
Did you have something you wanted to add, Aerowen?
Oh no, I realized I was muted when I was double checking. I was gonna say XP rerolls.
That's true. Technically, that's fair. If you have
That's fair.
experience, that's still fair. You can re-roll it because that is a 1. You are allowed to spend an experience point as a reminder to folks, because we haven't been doing this too often. If you want to spend 1 XP, you can re-roll any roll that you have, and you can use the better result. Even if it's still a failure, it will get rid of the 1 if you spend the experience.
Ah, man, I've only got 3 XP. This is painful.
Only.
It's that satisfied Kupo grin I love to see. It's your
So
call,
we-
bud.
I just wanted to remind.
For the good of the party.
Okay, so roll it again. Same
There's
process
not
as
going to be
before.
another one.
Oh.
I'll take it.
It's
Okay.
a failure, but no GM intrusion.
So, there is a less unhappy tone, as best as an AI can present an unhappy tone, on this occasion. However, after it speaks the command of Sombran countermeasures initiated, you do start hearing something around you. The reverberations from the sound left by the little fish bowls of sound and the shadows of the 2 creatures that were summoned, the sound begins to change from the sort of low humming noise to a like a clicking noise.
What about the guns in now?
The shadowy silhouettes of the creatures, they become much more agitated and they start pooling together. And as the sound reverberates around the room, you watch as what looks to be, I'd put it at about 9-10 foot tall, shadowy silhouette of a creature begins coming out of the floor. Its whole body, it doesn't seem to really know where anything is around it, but you just hear this constant clicking noise, and as the click reverberates around the room, the sound, the vibrations echo back and they solidify aspects of the shadowy form.
Okay, so the door is open, we just must make our way to it.
That's alright. Tenant's gonna open it for us again.
And that's where we're going to take our break.
Ah!
It's... Sorry, oh, you pissed off the AI.
I did not.
mean,
Well, one of you pissed off the AI.
oh my god.
So, I will go through this whole little spiel for as we're moving on to our break. Want to give thanks to all of our patrons who've donated more than $10 a month for our host with the most tier. Let me pull up that specific dang old list. Is start getting the screen back up. And want to give thanks to all the folks who've donated so much to trying to keep essentially all the lights and everything going. Want to give thanks to Donald G, Nerdy T, Michelle E, Abigator, Anino, and Andy T, host with the most tier, the VIP circle. You are most beloved, most gracious, and most wonderful. And as we head to break, why not head over to roll20.net/start/WTTP and sign up for your free account today. Over 4 million people use Roll20's virtual tabletop to power their favorite games, and with modules galore on the marketplace, you'll definitely find something for your group to enjoy. We are going to go on a 10-minute break, and we will return as the party has to deal with one of the Sombran countermeasures, a shadowy clicking creature that appears to be an amalgamation of focused sound and dark shadows. So, we are going to deal with that when the party comes back. So, we love our wonderful viewers so much. We're going to mosey on over, as I believe Kupo is fond of saying. And gonna...
Mosey.
Yes, we're going to mosey on over as I transition this over to you. We'll see you all in about 10 minutes. Take care, everybody.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us today. If you get a second during break, you should check out one of our amazing sponsors. We're now proudly sponsored by Roll20, the best virtual tabletop for all your role-playing needs. Over 4 million people use Roll20's virtual tabletop to power their favorite games. And with more modules than you can shake a stick at on their new revamped storefront, you'll definitely find something for your group to enjoy. Sign up today by clicking the link below or heading to roll20.net/start/WTTP. Tabletop Loot is an amazing place to get your dice bags, dice boxes, and more. And now you can get 15% off your purchase at tabletoploot.com by using the code WTTPDICE at checkout. Tabletop Loot. Your party starts here. While you're at it, check out our so awesome merch store, So Nerdware. So Nerdware is the place to find all your Welcome to the Party merch and other amazing stuff too. Head on over to sonerdware.com and use the code WELCOME at checkout to get 10% off your next purchase. So Nerdware. It's what the nerds wear. Devin Rue, the amazing mistress of maps, has kindly supported the channel since the beginning and provides graphics for many of our streams. Head on over to rueinc.com to check out some of the best fantasy cartography on the web. Our Patreon supports the creators and producers of the channel by providing Roll20 subscriptions, cost coverage for video hosting, and more. If you want to support the channel while getting podcasts a week early, gaming articles that are published on Patreon first, a shout out during our break, and more, head on over to patreon.com/welcomepartyrpg and throw us a buck or $5. And last, but certainly not least, help out the party. Subs and bits not only support the stream, but also every 500 bits or a tier 1 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a reroll or system equivalent, and every 1000 bits or tier 2 sub gives a player or DM of your choice a crit or system equivalent. Thanks again for hanging out with us today. The game will be back in just a few minutes.
Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
Delicious things to eat.
The popcorn can't be beat. The sparkling drinks are just dandy. The chocolate bars and the candy. So let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat. Let's all go to the lobby to get ourselves a treat.
just gotta unmute myself. Alrighty, everyone. We should be back as we find the party. Thank you to everyone who has stuck around for the stream and is joining us again in this wonderful, interesting moment caused by what we might call failed negotiations in this case. But so we return, for those of you who are joining us now, once again to the third episode of the Aerowen campaign, homebrew setting being played with the Monty Cook Numenera system for the third episode, which I did not announce at the start of the stream, which is Shadows, Sounds, and Solarans, as the party has tried to talk with one of the AI that controls the Shadowplay memory archives, which they find themselves in, and has apparently indicated a certain level of unintentional malice by referring to it as boomerfuck or something of that sort. Whatever phrasing Craven has chosen that is not lend well, and as a result brought about this shadowy silhouetted creature that appears to be a conglomeration of not only shadow but focus sound that is approximately like 6-7 feet wide, 9-10 feet tall, and is just making this constant clicking sort of noise as it's ever present in the room. The room is quite vast. There are various fishbowl sort of things around, and the creature seems to be taking its time to ignore them, but as of now, what are y'all doing? You got one call, one thing you can try and do before something else kicks off. What do you do?
Alright, fellas. Time for Plan K. That stands for the first plan I got from my first thing. Alright, so Aerowen. Use that one bird thing that you do, one of the storm bird, and then Napoleon and Haroon, you're gonna help Aerowen deal with that thing. And so Hanan, you're gonna come with me and help me find the core mind, or like the AI brain or whatever this thing has.
While you're talking, the creature's been moving closer and closer to you.
Are you sure it has a core? Like, I don't...
Oh, come on. All machines got it. And by the way, Aerowen, can you activate the bird now?
I'm just gonna... Aerowen would like to quickly turn to the guy and go, is there anything you can do to help?
Help? No. Malice. Insult. Injury. Happen. Countermeasures put in. Inevitable. Harm. Memories must be protected. Things...
Yeah.
Oh, they're already gone. And they must be gone. No, they're not gone yet. No, they're already gone. Swallow.
We're here.
Consumed.
We're here. Lagaya, we're here. We're here. We're here.
Alright, so now let's just come. Let's just let the himbos and his squads deal with this. Come on. We have something else to do.
The creatures
the
creature has moved closer to the party. Is anyone else doing anything? You have... Craven has spent this entire time talking. Aerowen has tried to talk to Legaya. Napazin, Haroon, Hanan, are you doing anything? It does not look friendly. I'll tell you that much already. It does not look like it is fond of any of you right now.
Is it easy enough to tell if it's organic or if it's artificial?
Both. It's
great.
It's one of those things where it's like something corporeal must exist about it, but it's like the best description I have is it's like corporeal sound and shadow put together.
Yeah. Okay. I got you. Like echolocation made a coherent object.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like it's like it's like if someone were just vibrating at any given moment, and it's... Any of you ever played Dead Space?
Yeah.
Yeah, think of like a necromorph in terms of like how the shadowy form is composing a body. It's kind of like that.
I don't like Bram's facial expression on that. No, I never played it, but just...
for anyone who has, you know exactly why they're terrifying. It's
unpleasant.
It's spiny. I'll put it that way. It's spiny. That's all the detail I think I need to give to indicate not great.
Okay, so I'm going
sorry,
to...
Brad.
I'm going to take the initiative, and I'm going to use my glaive pole vault over near the top of this thing and strike it as I'm sailing through the air.
Okay. You're taking the initiative to do this. I will be asking for an initiative roll from everyone after this, but you're all getting, because it has been unclear as to what it's going to do just yet. Initiative hasn't kicked in, but you are going to need to do for me, Arun. This will be. See if I can find it. This is a difficulty 3 task.
The great task. Okay, I'm using the dual glaive for this one, so I'm definitely trained in that. And remind myself to purchase a circus skill next time.
Say that again.
Okay. I'm gonna have to remind myself to purchase a acrobatic skill next time. Okay, I'm not going to spend any effort to roll. I will spend one effort today.
Okay, so that'll lower it from difficulty 3 to a difficulty 2. I haven't seen it yet, so I don't think it's a natural one based off of people's reaction, but nah. It's strange. This creature, it has some sort of corporeal form, but as you're attempting to like use the glaive to like stab into it, it's not focused entirely where you think it's at. It's just kind of moving around, and the sound and the clicking noises are very off-putting. So your strike does not land true. Nopalzine, Hanan, do you do anything right before things kick off?
I just have my shield up and sort of brace to try and create distance between this thing and the rest of the group. Nepalzin doesn't have a reason to like want to attack it immediately. He wants to more see like how it's going to attack, because the last time these countermeasures came out, it was just like a weird eye blast thing. So he's more like preparing to defend more than anything else.
Okay. Hanan, is there anything?
I think I kind of want to try scanning it and seeing maybe if there's some more information I can get out of it, or weakness if possible. I mean, if you need the flavor text, there it is. But
put up the flavor text for me.
Yep.
Let's see. You can scan an area equal in size to 10 foot. That's the exact range.
Sorry,
objects of creature.
I know it's a big flavor.
Yeah, no worries, no worries. You also learn whatever facts the GM feels are pertinent about the matter or energy in that area. Yes, I will say this will be an intellect roll, level 3 difficulty.
Okay. Let's see. I want to. All right. Well, first let me roll that. No bonus. Difficulty 3, you said?
Yes.
Okay.
And as a note, it's about a short distance away from everyone, given its weird jittery movement. So scan, I think, has a short range, so you would be able to scan it from here. But it's moving it's moving closer to the party.
Can I use? I'd like to use effort on this.
Yes. So you put in one.
Is that
rank.
from my pool?
Yes. So the effort is dependent on your rank. So you have 1 rank in effort, so you can use that once, and it costs 3 minus whatever your edge is in that.
Okay, so 3 minus sorry.
Good, you're good.
God, it's been a while apparently. Let's see if I'm doing scan. Intellect, the cost is where'd it go? I think I don't know why the cost isn't.
If nothing else, you can always do a manual change to your pool to represent it, just so we can keep things going.
Yeah. Let me. Oh, it's 2 intellect points. That's right. Okay, so 2 minus edge, you said?
Yes.
Okay, that's 1 then. Okay, so I'll just put. And that would equal 1 effort.
Well, the way it works is that it costs 3 to do effort, any kind of level of effort. Your edge will knock off 1 from that, reducing it to 2.
Oh, got it. Okay.
So you would put in it costs 3, and then with the edge it'll reduce it down
the
to
edge.
2.
Got it.
And with doing the effort, it'll reduce the difficulty from a 3 intellect roll to a 2.
Okay, I think I'm doing this right. Cost is 0.
That's a success.
Cool.
So, in scanning this creature, you find the basis of it. It is focused sound. It is an ethereal creature. It is not ethereal creature. It is corporeal. It is there. It seems to have features that indicate it hunts by sound. It does not appear to need anything visual in order to detect where things are around it. And this creature in particular seems to have I'll say given how high the roll is, I know it's not based off of that, but they are drawn to anything living that it can detect, and they have a tendency to try and grasp and then swallow any sort of creature that they can get their hands on. So, as with most things, distance is key to dealing with this thing. It can be quite dangerous if it's able to do that. But with that being the case, I need an initiative roll from everyone. This will be a speed, I believe it's defense task, speed task on initiative, difficulty of 3. If you succeed, you will go before this clicker creature, as is the actual official name of it. If you'd like to look it up in the bestiary for Numenera, clicker.
What's the difficulty again?
3.
Oh, where is the initiative? Oh, god damn it. Oh, there it is.
No, I didn't have
Oh, that's a 20.
I'm got a major effect or a +4 damage.
No, why do I always fail?
Gotta be quicker on the draw, bud.
Slow club.
I'm slow.
So, for anyone who has succeeded, you will be going before the creature does. Anyone who is not able to reach difficulty, you will go afterwards. But, Bram, it's a 20, so that's a major effect. You can feel free to either work with me or just come up on your own. Some sort of major effect of some beneficial or environmental change that you feel is appropriate, given, like, you're able to read the situation is one way of looking at it. But, again, I leave it up to you to decide how do you want a big effect, big impact effect to kick in.
I'd like to work with you on this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because you see, the creature is looking like it's about to start selecting a target that it can find, and it looks very hungrily at Craven currently, since Craven seems to be the one that angered the AI initially. So that's something that I think I can give you just for free, is that because it's such a good roll. But if there's any other elements about, like, what you pick up from reading the scenario very well.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think of something that would work in this scenario, and I think knowing that it's focused. Actually, does it look like it has reacted in any way? If I could know if it looks like it has reacted in any way to Haroon attacking it, or is it still focused on Craven?
It looks as though its attention is starting to shift to Haroon. It looked as though when it appeared, it was starting to go towards Craven, and then with Haroon trying to hit it, it's now, like, agitated. Like, it's making a series, at any given time that it's moving, it makes a series of clicking noises, and with the way the glaive has missed, we can sort of imagine it's like the glaive hit the ground, and the echoes that happened, it's picking up on that sound, and it's just going...
Oh. I guess, like, one more information thing, if I could just ask.
Yes.
If not, okay. Are the bowls also ringing?
Not currently.
Okay.
It doesn't seem to have done anything with the bowls.
Okay. That's the last thing I can think of, like, as, like, information.
Yeah.
Situational awareness.
It's just like...
Yeah.
I have read the situation.
Yeah.
But yeah, among the folks who have succeeded, any order you want, because again, this is very free form for how you think of combat or how you think of encounter sort of things. If any of you has an idea as to what you want to try and do to deal with this creature, jump right in.
I still have my plans of like finding the core, the whole thing. So I guess Craven's gonna do that. He's gonna look around for what's controlling this creature and what's summoning it.
With my scan, would that help, Craven?
I would say in this case it does not, only because the scan indicated that it takes up a roughly 3-meter cubic area, and the creature is the entirety of the scanned space.
Got it. Okay.
This thing is about 10 feet like tall.
Okay.
It's a spiny 10-foot shadowy silhouetted creature that's clicking noises all the time.
Okay.
Can I use this though?
Mechanical sense. Ah.
If it's a counter panel, that would mean it's also a Numenera, right?
That's a fair point. Roll me, we'll put it the same difficulty as before. So it's a level 3 intellect roll to use your special ability to see if you can, we'll treat it as this is your turn to do the action, but we'll see if you can ping and differentiate what specific thing. Because right now, because you're naturally adept, Craven, to sort of sensing the Numenera, at least when they're present, the whole room feels like it has a ring of it, but if you're trying to lock down which specific one might be involved with this creature, I'd say that would be your turn to do that. So, level 3 intellect roll.
Alright, let's do it. Come on. Yes! Woo! A minor effect!
Okay, so it's not as big an impact as Aerowen's, but you do get a little something extra in terms of a detail you pick up. So that's a success. You do see the same sort of one that you AI spot underneath one of the bowls that you might have accidentally angered. Does seem to be channeling it, and there's something very specific there. Maybe a particular Numenera that seems to be responsible for it.
And for my minor effect?
Yeah. It's nothing like big impact, but you can feel free to think of... No, but I'm saying you still have the minor impact. Just you succeeding told you that Numenera is probably involved. But if there's something small that you'd like as an additional effect, feel free to let me know what you'd want to go for.
Probably for minor effect, maybe an idea on how to manipulate it.
Okay. Yeah, I'll say it will provide you a benefit for the next time you try and do anything related to that task. We'll consider it an asset going in. That's about the most you can get out of it. That's like the full extent of a minor effect. But on your next turn, you'll be able to do something a little bit easier interacting with that. So that was Craven's turn. Is anyone for anyone among the success pool? What are you trying to do? Because among the success pool we have Aerowen, Craven, and Haroon.
Yeah.
So
just barely.
Let's try for another strike.
Okay.
On this thing, just trying to keep its aggro on me. It's a difficulty of 3.
Difficulty of 3 to try and deal with the creature.
Try to whack it. Okay. Do that. That is ooh la la.
I heard a sound. Oh dear. Oh my. That is a. Why are all of the good rolls suddenly coming in at this moment? It was just such terrible luck earlier, and now it's just like God's tier. So, your damage does manage to get through to it, and you have major impact. Would you like to add just additional damage, or is there any sort of other effect you would like to trigger at this point? Because it is a major effect with that.
How many limbs does this thing have?
Multiple. We're talking like 12. Like, it is a shadowy silhouette of multiple limbs and spines growing out of its back.
Would it be able to take away a few of those limbs with this major effect, or...?
Yes, you would probably.
Let's take away a few more of the sharper, pokier limbs.
All right,
Pokier.
just carves through front of it, and it's very strange in that I'm going to say that phrase a lot throughout this whole campaign. It's very strange. Everything in this world is that, but it falls to the floor, and it's like it turns into almost like smoke, where it just falls and it's just as it gets cut off, and it's like it makes a little like smaller clicking, almost kind of like a mix between a click sound and a whistle, as the limb falls to the floor and it just disappears.
So like the shadow ninjas sound like that.
But yeah, it is now the creature's turn.
Aerowen.
Hi guys.
Oh well, Aerowen, sorry. Aerowen
yeah.
has
Yeah, I was like, oh, okay. Okay. I just had this thought. I've been thinking, but so that happens to just trying like, okay, we need just to keep it sort of distracted and away from things. I am going to craft another illusion, but this time like filling my square. I'm gonna create an illusion of it that's very large. That's as large as it is. But because my illusions can create sound, I don't know if this is going to work at all. But all the sounds are going to be out of phase for the sound base cancellation.
Okay.
Perhaps it might hinder it, perhaps not, but it's going to be something that's probably very difficult because of all the sounds.
I will put this at it was still a difficulty of 3 intellect roll in order to get your ability to function and see if it can be convincing enough.
Yeah, okay. Let's drop that. Okay, yeah, let's burn more effort on that.
That's effort, so that 1 effort, so that'd be 3 points, but if you have an edge, reduces it to 2.
Mm-hmm.
Alright, based off that expression.
GM intrusion. You know what? Sure, let's see what this is.
Are you gonna take it? Are you gonna take the roll?
Yeah.
The creature, the sounds you try and make aren't quite pitched off enough, and because of that it almost seems to bind the illusion, seems the sounds being made by it become incorporated into the creature.
Oh no.
It regrows all of the limbs that Haroon just cut off.
Oh.
And it's also moved a little bit closer to Haroon, so that Haroon is now in immediate range to it because of its grown limbs.
This is the library, right? I'm just gonna hold my glaive up. I can do it again.
So it is now the creature's turn. I'm going to say it's going to go. The little wave and every little salute, it makes it even better. So Haroon, it is going to try and go after you as you watch this long-limbed creature try and reach out, and it looks like it's trying to grasp all of its long spiny appendages to pull you in. This would normally be a speed defense task of 3. However, I'm going to say that given the growth in its appendages and its easier access, it has an asset in its direction, so it's now a difficulty of 4 of speed defense.
Can I use danger sense for this, or?
Yes, that will lower it back down, but it's still a difficulty of 3 to avoid, as it's just making this, again, it's this constant drone of clicking noises. It's just trying to reach out and just...
I can afford the effort for speed defense. That effort was worth it.
The effort was, that's a success. You managed to, the creature is able to get closer to you, and it looks as though it's going to try and bite and swallow down on you, but you're able to just be nimble enough to just get out of the way as its limbs miss.
Let's try not healing it.
So it is now Nepalzine and Hanan's turn, as there's only one creature facing you. And it seems to have taken, in contrast to the Coxidon that you saw previously, this creature seemed to have, whatever physical harm you could say registers on it, it seemed to take all of the damage from Harun's weapon. So it can be hurt. Y'all's call. Do either of you do?
I think Nepalzin would try and get its attention away from everybody else.
Okay.
So, like, has the shield already up, has the sword, like, does the shield bash that he did for the last creatures that attacked us, like, hey, bang, bang, and then takes 2 steps forward and goes for a swing
Okay.
to try and focus it on him.
So difficulty 3. I'm going to say for your case it is, because you're trying to use might for this, correct?
Yeah.
So it'll be might. Difficulty 3 on that. Let's see how that turns out.
And sorry, what was the difficulty again?
3.
3.
It's not quite a minor effect, but it's a high enough roll that you get an additional bit of damage, as while Harun was able to get a strong blow to cut off appendages, yours does not land quite as effectively, but its attention has now been diverted onto you, and it seems to be like the clicks are kind of disjointed now. The sound doesn't appear to be happening in the same sort of rhythmic pattern it was going in before. And let me just
I'm also going to activate my fighting move, Goad, which is an enabler. After you successfully attack a creature, the difficulty of speed defense rolls made by all others against attacks by that creature is decreased by 1 step until the end of the next round. So if it attacks anyone else, it'll be easier to defend.
Yep. You seem to fully have its attention, as it appears to very much be like zeroing in on the sounds that are emanating off of the shield as you're like trying to antagonize it.
Yeah, he like swings and then bang bang, and like tries to swing and like use that, if it's made of sound, like trying to make as much sound as he can so that it's focusing on him.
Okay, so that was 4 damage from that one, and then this one was another 4 damage. So the creature is becoming a little bit more frenetic in its movements. The sound is more disjointed. The clicks are not coming through. It's looking quite hurt for what its size is. It is the top of the round again. Anyone else want to try and do something? Because starting over again.
What about Hanan?
Oh, Hanan, sorry. I'm trying to remember everyone. Sorry.
Let me...
It's been a long day, everybody.
Yes, it has. I want to... I guess I'll... Dang. I mean, I don't think it'll emit noise, but I guess I'll do I'll do onslaught.
Okay. Level 3 difficulty.
Oh, car. Okay, that's intellect. Ooh, do I want to spend any more? No, it's actually. Oops. No, that's not what I wanted. the attack version.
Decisions were made. Not all of them are what I wanted.
Not what I wanted. Okay, 3. Oh.
The other lever, Kronk.
Let me see. Cost. What's it? Oh, cost is 1. There we go. What? Oh, okay. Oh, cool.
Yeah, there you go. And you're trained in doing this. So the force emanates out, and there's this loud cacophony of clicking noises that emanates and rings out all around the room.
Mm-hmm.
And the shadowy silhouetted creature just disperses.
Is it gone? What?
Oh.
There's nothing left. It's just smoke.
Are there any sounds still left?
Nothing but the sounds that your group is making as you move through the room.
Okay.
Oh, Kevin's still gonna do his things.
Is there anything left? You said it poofed up in smoke, you said?
Yeah, it's just... But Craven is the one in the party who seems to sense the most
Okay.
that it seemed to be being projected, or at least connected to the particular device attached to the one table near the fishbowl.
Okay.
So Craven, what are you doing?
Time to give this boomer some punishment. Not in that way, but yeah, just okay. So
Carrying on.
let's try reprogram the AI to follow command and register. Well, kind of want to do it anon, but since the threat is gone, I'm just gonna try my command.
Okay.
What do I need to roll?
It will be an intellect task of 3.
Alright.
Because you had previously interacted with it and gained the knowledge of how it was interacting with the scenario, I will treat that as an asset, so it's a difficulty of 2 for you because of your asset.
I kind of want to spend an edge on it, but at the same time, last time we spent something on edge, we ended up with 1 result. So,
It happens. You never know. And don't forget, you do have experience available to do a reroll if you're not happy with the result.
if
That
I
is
do a
always an option.
reroll, do I also still use the edge?
Well, the edge will apply once per anything that you do. So
Oh,
what
okay,
you're
so
talking about is using effort. Effort costs 3 from the particular pool you're doing the task in. Edge lowers the cost for doing certain things. So edge could be applied in your abilities, which some of them cost 1. So if you had an edge in there, that would reduce the cost to 0. So it costs you nothing to use that ability. But for doing effort, 1 edge will reduce the cost of effort from 3 to 2.
So if I use the edge now, it's gonna turn it to 1.
Yeah. Which, of course, you could still fail if you roll low enough, but a difficulty 1 is relatively easy to accomplish. It's your call.
Yeah, I'll go 2. I'm gonna save the edge for something much more dire and much more extreme. So
Okay, so let's see what that result is going to be.
Nope. I'd like to spend an XP.
Every moment in combat that I'm not even trying to purposely initiate for you all is just like plow through it. A door. People can't get through.
Alright, there you go.
Okay, so that's 1 of your XP that you have is spent for a roll of 13, which will accomplish it. It takes some time fiddling around with it, but you all hear a thump. And have any of you used a home projector in your to watch movies at home? It's sort of the cylindrical tube portion of that, except it seems to be covered in half of it in bits of sort of light yellow encrusted jewels, and the other one is a sort of deep black, like onyx sort of tone to it. This is a Numenera of some kind. It would take a follow-up roll to understand what it is, but you do sense that this seemed to be the source of that creature that it just attacked you.
And it's already on my command.
I mean, you don't know what it is yet.
Yeah, right.
Because I think,
Can I use my
think technically
understanding?
as a right, I think you might have it in, you are in, it's not inhibited, but you have impairment or something. I forget what the term is. I think rights, or no, it's delves. Right or delve, I'm forgetting people's classes right now, but whatever your one is, I think nanos understand, but you know how to create or like scavenge it. I'm forgetting which one it is, but it would be a, let's see, what is that? Pull up my little reference sheet. Identifying. It would be difficulty 1 or 2 intellect task for someone to figure out what it is. So I'll put it at difficulty 2 because this is older tech.
So it's understanding Numenera?
It would be understanding Numenera. Because you were able to figure out that, like, how to get it out and scavenge it. This is a matter of trying to figure out what it actually is. You have a rough sense of what it does, but you don't know exactly what the identity of this thing is, what the kind of tech it is.
Well, I'll whistle over for Aerowen. Aerowen, come here. I got something for you to look at.
Sure. Just draw like okay. Are we?
Tell me about this thing. What it is? What is it?
Are we in a good place to take a look at this? Are we sure?
Yeah, we are. It's alright. You see it yourself. The creature's gone. I felt it anyway. I felt the menace, as they call it. Get out of my sight. So here, just focus on this first, please.
Okay. As I am going to attempt to look and understand what it is that I am precisely looking at. Which you said difficulty 2.
Yes, which with your understanding, you're trained in it, so that already lowers it to a 1.
Mm-hmm. 1. So it's difficulty 2. 1. So that's an intellect. Difficulty 2. Trained 1. And let's just. Oop. There we go. And that's a success.
It's remarkably convenient that you are the one to actually identify this out of 1. Because this, based on my notes of what I've written down, this is a level 4 image projector cipher.
Huh.
Which, from one of the things that I have, I think this, I'm going to give it this one because I've looked it up again. Fear disrupts the flow of energy around it, much like a rock disturbs a flowing river. This thing can actually create horrifying and unsettling images on command.
Oh, okay.
Hence the shadowy creature that became corporeal.
So this is an image projector. And well, we certainly saw what it could do firsthand with the noisy, shadowy, clickety creature. I still haven't. I've completely blanked out, and the my illusion is still there. Like right, like that one.
Alright. So,
But it's typically mostly looking at horrifying. It doesn't really seem to do other things besides anything that's not horrifying and terrifying and unsettling and disturbing. It doesn't have anything nice in it.
Okay.
At all that I can see.
Alright. Is there anything else, anyone?
Do I know the range and all that?
So it's a level 4. This one seems to, as you pull it out and play around with it, it transfigures into what appears to be a headband with the cylindrical sort of tube as the centerpiece to it. This variation can appear up to a close distance away, but because its cipher level is 4, it can project up to a long distance and includes movement, sound, and smell. And its variation is a terrifying creature of an unknown species.
Oh, I can summon it.
Oh, yeah, okay. Sound, smell. Yeah, so I'm just gonna just explain. Yeah, no, it can create it can simulate sight. Well, we saw what it could see visually. It also simulates it the image through our auditory and olfactory senses as well. It's one thing is it's remarkable that it's the creatures that are housed in it. I don't think I've ever seen anything like this in any of the interpretations, any of the murals through any of the way stations. Nor does it even remind me of anything on any of the islands.
So this piece of thing, it's just projecting holograms. It doesn't summon the creature that was attacking me earlier.
Well, it could project an image. I don't think it would be able to do quite as much as perhaps if it was connected to the greater, as I point to the pillar that you had removed it from. Maybe an interaction with that is what caused it to be perhaps more. What's the word I'm looking for?
Hostile.
Hostile and greater in scope than this. Perhaps this is the portion that just creates the first form, and the intent is all within that pillar.
So I just rendered that old hunk of junk useless.
I wouldn't say useless, but more you've taken a piece out of it.
Alright. And then Kraven just turns to the pillar and then just holds up and says, "You said this! I just take something out of you and now you're useless! You good for nothing, old back!" Alright,
I mean,
I'm
you may.
done.
It's like even a frothing lizard, even if you removed its poison sacs, does still have teeth.
Yeah, let's see what that can do, alright? Hey! Big!
Craven, do not antagonize the cylindrical rock that just tried to kill us.
Oh, please. Those things can't even hurt us. It doesn't even hurt me. Alright.
Angelo, Jim, what's that?
You're all hearing kind of humming noises coming from above.
I'm gonna look up.
So, you see approximately 1.5 feet in diameter what appear to be floating spheres, metallic, with a singular eye on them composed of both black and yellow gem crystals that seem to emanate a red beam. And there is a formation of approximately 6 of them.
Oh.
I think that's our cue to run.
We shouldn't be here. We've already done too much by altering the door. We've exploited what's in these archives. We've destroyed part of these guardians. We have to make this right. And Paulson goes to his knees and starts invoking prayers of forgiveness, and goes in his pockets and roots around for any loose scrap he might have on hand, just to hold it out in supplication.
The pausing, it's useless. Let's just run. It's just a machine, and it's being grumpy. It's being an old fart. It's just let's go, all right, let's go. Just let it be grumpy by itself. It's gonna calm itself down in like
Do you
300
judge
years or
all
something.
inorganic life this way? One of the spheres with a slightly bigger eye seems to float down. You seem to seek knowledge, and yet antagonize all that would grant you it. Do you judge all inorganic life in this manner?
I apologize for our rashness in this particular matter. We have come from a rather dangerous journey to reach here, and we still were on edge. So our actions were not entirely coming from the best of where we can
A pair of smaller orbs seem to float down. Metallic spheres, the red eyes. The one with the bigger eye floats down to Nepalzine. You seem quite capable with weapons and implements of harm and violence, and yet you do not seek to harm us.
I'm here to keep people safe. That's what I do. That's my function. I'm a protector.
Guardian, is this appropriate as a term?
Yes, I think I like that. I'm here to protect the rest of these travelers who are seeking answers. All I wish is to learn from this place and what you are as much as I can. But I have been raised in the outside. I only wish to take my memories, not yours, and leave as little trace of my passing as possible.
You speak with such respect. Despite being one who is of nature and is of the wild, you seem to speak with such tones of respect to that which is far removed from it. Perhaps you can be trusted. Do you wish to know more of nature?
You have here memories of things that are no longer of our world. I should like to know as much as you are willing to teach. I am sure that my companions have questions as well, and are Solarian. We would like to know of this and the connection to the Somrans as well.
The eye just seems to do a steady trace of all of you. Do you wish to speak, illusionist?
Just staring at these orbs, these spheres, like, yeah, just, we did not mean to come bring any harm. Just, we wish to learn. We wish to know. We wish to understand. We came here just. This place has been a mystery to all of us. This place, what was once, I suppose, beyond the fog, now a new path open to discovery, to see what was once here, to learn, to understand. And that's what we were here to do, to figure out. and to then return with knowledge of this place to help create a larger understanding of everything, of all of us, how we're all connected.
You wish to share and not to hoard.
Yes. That's what knowledge is. That's what knowledge is for. This is what this. I'm sorry if I'm overstepping myself, but that's what these archives are for. That's what a library is for. What it can be used for, what it can be for. A place, a gathering of knowledge to share, to access, to be disseminated.
It moves very close to you and seems to evaluate just your whole form. Its eye is so, despite being mechanical in nature, the gem shards seem to be as piercing as any humanoid its eye and gaze have ever been. And then the eye turns its attention to Hanan. Do you wish to know more?
Yes, of course I do. We all came here for that specific reason, but I suppose if we're going for each individual's, all my life, I am not originally from my village. I was found and raised by my mothers. I need to know who I am. Where my powers or my abilities come from. No one in my village knows, and they treat me like something divine, and I don't feel like I deserve it, and I want to know so I can show them. I just want to know who I am.
Do you all wish to know more of your place and of what this place means for this world?
Does that count as me too? I mean, I kind of did this, but
Is there anything over here that could probably help better the lives of people? Like, safer construction, better farming, or something like that?
The last world is gone. It is only a echo that remains. But an echo is enough to leave impact. Follow. Come with us, and we shall show you the power of an echo and the power of an imprint.
Thank you for your remarkable patience with us.
And you watch throughout all of this, Ligaya has sort of been just the still same disjointed, out of place. But there's an element where some of the images start collapsing back. Gone, already gone. Here. Guide. Guide people here. Perhaps I was a guide for you. And the duty is done.
Thank you.
There's a lingering smile that there's only a few other images left, but they all seem to have this sense of peacefulness about them. They all gain the same smile, and sort of like an echoey kind of effect of joy. And the form fades.
Thank you.
The floating spheres, Squadron of 6, form sort of a flying V kind of formation around you to sort of direct. Come. Follow to the core. And come to know your place in this world. And this side of knowledge as one of 4 of the 8th world. Do you follow?
Yeah. Yeah.
Alright,
I don't
go
want
on.
follows.
Let's go.
1 of 4? Who were the other 3?
One of the spheres stays back. It's a smaller one. Only, whereas the biggest one is about 1.5 feet in diameter, this one's about half that size. But it floats down. This place is forged of earth and water. Another of air and water. Another of water and fire. And the last of fire and earth. 1 of 4. The elements of the 9th world stem from the 8th, and the 7th brought forth the 8th. Every cycle that ends begets a new one. Such is how worlds work. Come and know the end of the 8th, and the beginning of the 9th. And they begin floating down towards what you see now that wasn't there before, an opening, a door, where the lights, the fixtures, it seems as though as the 6 floating spheres hum by, the sound reverberates, and the light fixtures reorient, and they light the path to another door, a massive one, which stretches out before you.
This will be leading to the core. Yes?
Bless you.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
That's both in and out of character.
This will be leading to the core, yes?
Yes.
Alright.
And as the spheres begin directing you forward, this room of various stained glass light fixtures, bowls housing shadow memories, echoes of creatures and of things long past and those that have long gone with them. Technology that is present there, and perhaps could still be scavenged if one is so inclined to look into it. And the promise of more knowledge, self-understanding, and of history of the 8th world awaits you all. And that is where we're going to end our session for tonight.
That went from 0 to 100 to 0. Well, not 0 to 100.
I mean, not 0.
No.
Yeah, it's just.
No.
What
it
the
just
heck?
It goes from okay. What the fuck?
What the? All right.
All right.
Well, it felt more like going, I guess if you want to go from 0 to 100 to C.
We're all at sea level right now, everybody.
I feel like the eyes are
Like barely floating.
Yeah.
I feel like the eyes are now just ignoring Craven whenever he speaks his mouth, like they're pretending he's not exists, which is
Oh no,
fair.
they're not ignoring you. They're all in some form or another. Uh, they're all kind of staring at you still, Craven. One of the two back ones is they're still just kind of like, if a floating mechanical sphere could give you the evil eye, that's kind of the equivalent of what you're getting right now.
I just want to
Guys,
know.
I feel like this fair thing doesn't like me. I don't know why.
Just
I
want,
didn't do anything to him yet.
Yet.
See that phrasing. That's
yeah.
that's the why. That's the why people might not be fond of it.
He has no filters. He has no
do
filters.
these spheres just a offhand question? Do they seem familiar or similar in any way to what Adawan knows?
Yeah,
Okay, I just
they
wanted to
all
ask.
have certain aspects of these sort of like shards that you've seen in your youth that sort of founded that.
Okay.
Some of their eyes, you'll see the coloration is very similar to the
Mm-hmm.
ones that you've had. And one of them
Okay.
has a very sunlight sort of design to the eye that's very similar to Hanan's.
Okay.
Okay, so these probably previous Solarians or Solarans that have been morphed or preserved, their spirits preserved into these eye constructs. I'm just thinking, yeah.
We
Guessing.
will find that out
Yeah.
either in private chat or as we continue forward. But
Alright,
that was episode 3,
was-
everybody.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was great.
Thank you.
Oh boy.
Hey,
I hope everyone is having fun.
Yeah.
With all the shenanigans that Craven caused, I still feel guilty for what he done.
How does stat recovery work anyway? Because I'm getting very low right now.
say that again.
How does stat recovery work anyway? Because I'm pretty low right
Stat
now.
recovery
So-
is just an action. We'll do, I think it's a d6 plus a certain amount.
Plus your
Just-
tier.
Plus your tier. Yeah, so it's d6 plus 1. And then every instance after that of recovery in a pool that you're allowed to split up however much you recover between pools is a set time amount. So if you wanted to take like, I think it's action, then like 10 minutes, then an hour, then like 4 hours, and then 8 hours. And by that point, they expect you to take a long rest, effectively. But
There is a little tracker chart on the sheet.
yes. So, but so that I don't belabor too much time and use it,
Yeah.
folks, I want to again thank everyone for tuning out who followed prior to this or joined in for this remarkably in-depth investigative and a little bit of combat, but more just a moment of fear rather than a moment of direct danger. I want to say thanks to the folks. Want to remind folks about the Discord, Patreon, merch, all of that. Feel free to tune into those and look into that more in depth. We are going to be raiding, as soon as I can find a channel that's available, we're going to be raiding someone soon. So that'll be that. But while I'm looking for someone to raid, I'd like everyone to go around. Feel free to say who you are, where folks can find you, and any sort of work you might be involved in. So go right ahead, everyone.
I'll go ahead. My name is Simon. You can find me on Twitter at Lucha Libris. I am a RPG streamer and a game designer and a voice actor. So I'm here obviously every week. I'm also on Welcome to the Party Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. GMing some Monster of the Week. I am on Sundays at 3 Eastern on twitch.tv/allnerdshere for season 2 of PWN, the Progressive Wrestling Network. We're playing the Worldwide Wrestling RPG. It's a great time. You should come by. You can listen to my voice on the Penumbra Podcast, a queer sci-fi and fantasy audio drama. That's the penumbrapodcast.com. And you can buy some of my tabletop role-playing games at luchalibris.itch.io.
Yes, I'll go. Oh, unless.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, I'm Bram. You can find me. I'm a sound designer and sort of dipping my toes into the tabletop RPG design space. You can find me on Twitter at Defiatos, and the 2 little jam games I've put out on itch at defiatos.itch.io. And I'm also on the Discord as the Fight Host. You know,
I am Dotself, and you can find me on the Discord under the same name, Dotself. Otherwise, you can find me here on Sundays.
I guess I'll go. Hello. I played Hanan, but I go by Kupo Knights on the Discord and Twitter. Discord Kupo Knight, Twitter KUP0KNIGHT. You can find me here on Sunday evenings and on Thursday evenings at Welcome to the Party at time zones. 6 p.m. Pacific Standard, 9 p.m. Eastern for the first Ember, which is a Star Wars tabletop role-playing game, and we're using the airlock system. It's great. So if you like Star Wars or wish Star Wars was better, come check us out. We make our own Star Wars games. Also, shout out to Welcome to the Party's BIMPOC one-shot show, Vibrant Visible Victorious, also known as 3V. Actually, a lot of players here have around my fellow cast members have either played or DM'd this, and it's a good old time. It's a BIMPOC exclusive, so if any BIMPOC players want a channel or a platform to either show off a game that you want to play test, or just play and try playing or GMing for the first time, you are more than welcome. Just go to vibrantvisibleVictorious.com for details on how to join and sign up. And for me personally, I'm starting to stream on my own channel on Twitch, Kupo_Knight. Stream Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays, but I might change up the schedule because June is Pride Month, so yay. But yes, I do that too. But this session was awesome. I'm sad that we weren't able to play last week because that was kind of my bad. But I'm glad we got to play. I'm glad we got to play tonight because it was much needed. So thank you.
And has Noah talked yet?
No, I haven't.
Okay, I just found a channel, so go right ahead and speak before I move this over.
Alright, so yeah, my name is Noah, and you can find me at Twitter at OranRune, and well, I'm looking forward to see where this is going now that my character has made enemies finally, a real enemy. And well, yeah, just stay tuned for next week on Aerowen, whether Craven's gonna fuck up another thing and people's gonna need to handle his mess again, or whether he's gonna turn a new leaf and finally learn his lesson.
Lose my shit over here over Craven just being Craven all the time. But so I'm Angela, otherwise known as Phoenix 24 Femme, otherwise known as the Philosophical Femme. Just look for me either with a Phoenix or Femme or philosophy. I have a brand and I stick to it pretty strongly at this point. You can find me on Patreon, where I am a trans woman of color poet, a disabled trans woman of color poet who also does now budding TTRPG work, and I've built this setting that I'm expanding still, and I built a previous setting that I ran on the channel called The World of Agni. And I'm also a writer over at Art for Ourselves, half of the Queerly Yours relationship podcast. I do commissions for groups who are interested in having their own customized themes for TTRPG groups. Or if you're looking for a theme for your website, whatever it might be, feel free to hit me up on the Patreon or in DMs, because I do good work. And I've been featured even on this channel before. And yeah, I'm also on the Ryutama campaign that happens tomorrow at 10 a.m. PST, 1 p.m. EST, where I play a little old herbalist lady who's basically a gay, polyamorous, like herbalist version of Link from The Legend of Zelda, and has an absurd amount of glass bottles at any given moment. So that's fun. But I have found one that I agree with trying to raid because they are still going on. INDG, I Need Diverse Games, is currently playing a Create and Devastate Breaking Records Part 9, a lasers and feelings inspired RPG slash
Awesome.
the Reclaimers. It seems to be going to BLM Donate. So I'm going to try and put in the raid command, and I'm going to hope that this actually works. And we're going to see how that goes, everyone. So let's do...
Sweet.
So let's just give me a moment while I do...
You got this.
It will be done.
Honest.
I believe.
Let's just... Yep, it looks like the raid command is going through. So, INDG, we're about to head out to an amazing gaming channel. So, thank you everyone for tuning in. Thank you to my players for always being amazing. Stay safe, take care of yourself, and remember the people in your life. Cherish them. These are difficult times. We love you all very much, and we hope to see you next Sunday. So, hopefully...
I didn't see the raid.
Yeah,
countdown.
I'm waiting for the command to go through. We'll see.
Oh.
Well, because it says raid, and it says we're about to head out. I don't know how
Yeah.
long we need to wait until it actually does
I don't know.
that.
Sometimes, like, the raid command always weirds me out when I see it happen. It's either super fast
Or it takes 10 years.
or it takes forever.
Or
takes ages.
ever.
5 years
Forever.
later.
What was that meme on like Titanic where it's like after 35 years or something?
Yeah, that honestly might do it. I'm going to go poke
I don't
the
know.
mods for additional help just in case. Because I think it should be going because the command was accepted. For once, I don't know how long it is.
I'm just gonna turn off my web captioner because I'm looking at my web captioner and it's not. It's not.
Your web captioner must be amazing.
What did you say, Sunslit?
I'm saying that Noah's web captioner must be amazing.
My web captioner?
It's just
Well,
it's documenting all of the hijinks that you get into at any given moment. Just imagine all of the things Noah has said in ridiculosity.
Damn.
Yeah.
I guess that's what happens when you got it.
A
Right?
chaotic character is what we're going with here.
The web captioner is like, alright, let's just show the world what kind of fucking insane person you are as a character. That is insane. I swear, I never played a character this insane before. The last time I played like something that is merely this level of like
Ridiculous.
unhinged.
Yeah.
Ridiculous and unhinged is like in Lingua Major, where I'm not even playing an insane character. I'm just playing a grumpy, angry Triton guy who is just like all about like I want to fight something, but I also want to find something for my husband back home.
Gay chaos is what I live for.
Yeah, he is a gay chaos.
Yeah, it's still not showing up.
Yeah, that's weird.
Yeah.
I don't know why it's doing that. I don't know why it dislikes me. I'm trying to do the actual command.
no!
Oh, no! Why? Why
Here,
is it always, why is it
let's
always
throw
me?
XP.
Oh, yeah, that reminds me. That's
Let's
going to be
throw
a
XP
lot.
at this point.
So, considering we need another moment or two to VAM, despite...
Let's see.
well, because y'all investigated two shadow things.
Mm-hmm.
I also got a Numenera.
You got a Numenera, and you got the attention of the gazer. Well, I'm going to tell you right now, the constructs, the floating sphere things, if you would like a name for them, they're called gazers.
Geezers.
So that is across the board for everyone. That's 4 XP in one session.
What?
Whoa.
All of us? For each?
Yeah. You think
What?
this is a communal effort? This
yeah.
this buffs apply to everybody.
Ooh,
Slash-
another
it's a stream
stat,
game, so
another
I'm
ability.
inclined to be generous.
So the cipher that I got, is it just called projector?
Image
or...
Image
Projector.
project. It's
Image
a level 4 image projector.
Yes, which can the reason its level is
Okay.
important is because it allows you to do it from long distance as opposed to short distance.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm asking for help, everyone, on this
Yeah.
thing because it shouldn't be taking this long if the raid command has gone through, and I'm pretty certain that I put it in correctly this time.
Yeah, it's just !raid and then the name of the channel. Yeah.
Yeah, which the name of the
But you
channel is
did.
just INDG,
I see it.
and they're live, so I don't know what's going on.
I see them. They are there.
Yeah.
But if they accept raids, or if they or not accept raids, I'm
That might
sure
be the
Twitch would
case.
let you know. They'd be like, you can't raid this channel.
Yeah, and we have the message in the chat saying that like we're about to be heading out, so why is it not doing
Twitch, why?
why you do this?
Oh no.
Twitch, why?
Twitch.
Twitch.
Is there a way we can manually do it? Wow, this is.
Yeah.
I'm guessing that's a mod command. None of
I
us can do it.
guess
That might
I'm
be
just
a
confused why-
channel command.
Yeah, maybe one of those kind of things.
Which is probably just being slow, because
Are we still showing up?
Yeah, we're
We're
vamping for a
still
bit.
live,
Yeah, we're just vamping for just a little bit
Yeah,
more.
yeah.
I would shut us off if we weren't like.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if it's just a
Uh,
matter of we
yeah.
need to turn off in order for it to do the raid.
No,
I mean,
it does it.
Yeah, because I'm
does
pretty
it
certain it does
while
it automatically.
Yeah.
I promise this is not to be expected every week, everyone. I'm trying.
No, we
No,
No,
yeah.
no,
were
no,
able to
no.
raid last time.
Yeah.
Oh,
Raid last
can't
time.
raid that channel.
Of course.
Aha.
Why? All right.
They probably have their it's a
someone else,
privacy thing.
someone on mission command want to help me find the channel in that case? It was the only one I was able to find who seemed reputable.
Yes.
Mission
could
command,
that
if you're
channel be
involved,
protected from-
chat or otherwise.
Let me check. I think I have some. I should have a.
Oh,
front
wait,
row.
wait.
Oh, we're off.
Off.
We're off.
We're good.
Yeah.
Fine, looks good. One right.
We're rating.
Yep. So I'm gonna be stopping the stream once.
Wait, so are we raiding them?
Yeah,
Hey.
we
Oh,
we
We're
moved
off.
over. So I'm gonna stop our stream.